SpaceGodzilla is one of the most powerful kaiju to ever face off with Godzilla. And if any of you are familiar with Super Godzilla from the Super Nintendo game of the same name, then you know that SpaceGodzilla looks a lot like Super Godzilla. But there were other influences for SpaceGodzilla, and to learn more about them, we need to go back and take a look at two unused kaiju with abilities and traits that would transfer over to the evil space monster. So let's examine the evolution of SpaceGodzilla with AstroGodzilla, Crystal Godzilla, and Super Godzilla. Beginning with AstroGodzilla, the unmade Godzilla vs. AstroGodzilla, what you have here is an extraterrestrial clone of Godzilla, one that was created from the cells of Biollante that escaped into space after her defeat in Godzilla vs. Biollante. This origin, in part, would carry forward to SpaceGodzilla, along with another creation theory where it was thought that it could have also been Mothra who carried Godzilla's cells into space after her fight with Godzilla in 1990. Once there, by either method, the cells would then get pulled into a black hole, later exiting in a white hole, where they would evolve by assimilating crystalline organisms after exposure to the immense energy from exploding supernova. One concept image, thought to be of AstroGodzilla, shows the kaiju with giant wings, multiple arms, and a split tail, while another source says that the monster would have an ice theme and would be all white in color, with an ice ray that could freeze just about anything. Now there are other concept images, with the page containing art for both AstroGodzilla and Crystal Godzilla. With AstroG having most likely natural wings, I believe that this image here may also be for AstroGodzilla. And if this is the case, the colored gems that appear on it are also on Biollante in two images, which makes sense due to her tie with AstroG. The gems also appear on this strange four-legged creature credited only as an early SpaceGodzilla concept. Looking to what we know of the plot of Godzilla vs. AstroGodzilla, we find out that AstroG has created crystalline formations that crash land in Japan, much like the crystals used by SpaceGodzilla. But here, those crystals split open and out pours a swarm of crystalline giant dragonflies under the control of AstroG. They would attack little Godzilla, causing the adult Godzilla to enter the fight. He is unsuccessful though, and the insects are able to carry little Godzilla away to a crystalline tower and fortress being constructed on Mount Oso. This kidnapping is similar to what Space G did with Little G in his film, and I can't help but wonder if these dragonflies would later influence the Meganula of Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. AstroGodzilla would also possess high-level psychic abilities that he would use to take over the minds of Little G, G-Force, and Mickey Segusa. These psychic abilities may have evolved into SpaceGodzilla's powers of telepathy, geokinesis, and his gravity tornado attack. For the final battle, a multi-pronged attack was employed where the defense forces would hold off the bugs, while Moguera, Godzilla, and Mothra would take the fight to AstroGodzilla deep within its fortress. The next step in the evolution of SpaceGodzilla would lead us to Crystal Godzilla from the unmade Godzilla vs. NeoGodzilla. And I would mention that this isn't the same Crystal Godzilla that was meant to appear in the unused Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla Story Plan A script. For Godzilla vs. NeoGodzilla, of which NeoGodzilla is an early name for Crystal Godzilla, the Crystal G is basically AstroGodzilla, but with its ice theme changed into a crystal one. The main concept image for Crystal Godzilla gives us a version of Godzilla with crystals covering much of its body and 4 large crystal wings on its back. These wings are said to be able to expand or contract, and the crystals on its body would supposedly increase its defense. No origin for Crystal Godzilla is given, but like SpaceGodzilla, Crystal Godzilla would have several forms: a space form, a flying form, and a mature form. Now SpaceGodzilla only had the flying and mature or kaiju form, but their flight modes are very similar. Looking back to the concept images of Crystal and AstroGodzilla, there are 2 more designs of what I believe to be of Crystal Godzilla. The first one is covered in crystals and shows a flying form. I can't help but notice its similarity to Gauss of the Gamera films with its angular lines. But the second image to me is pretty fascinating, as it shows a version of Godzilla with a design that looks very close to Monster X of Godzilla Final Wars. And to complete the evolution into SpaceGodzilla, we only have to look towards Super Godzilla from the video game. Minoru Yoshida would be the artist responsible for both Super and Space Godzilla, and after taking traits from Astro and Crystal Godzilla, it would be Super Godzilla that would give Space G his defining look. Yet there were other concepts considered before the design was settled on. There are several other sketches featuring a Godzilla-like creature with large wings that appear natural and not crystalline, and the scales on the head end in a spike reminiscent of Space G's crown. This four-legged variation seems to be influenced by Biollante, especially in its head and overall bulk. Even so, it's surprisingly close to Super Godzilla's look, an evolution on the last image with only 2 legs and less Biollante. There's even a similar piece done with this creature in a crystal form. For the game, Super G is an alternate form of Godzilla that is powered up by S capsules, and the 2 monsters share a similar look, barring a few changes. Super G is gray in color with a bright green chest, whereas Space G is gray with a bright red chest. Though not seen in the American version of Super G, the Super Famicom's Japanese version would even have a crown almost identical to Space Godzilla's. And instead of 2 large spikes on its shoulders, Space G would have 2 big crystals, keeping in line with Crystal Godzilla and completing the evolution to Space Godzilla. If you want to know even more about Space Godzilla or its unmade sequel, try out one of the links seen here. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, take care, and I hope to see you next time.